Hi everyone, welcome back to Mouth in the Matter. If you're new here, make sure to make sure to subscribe. I do webtoon related content, so if that's something that you would make sure to make sure to subscribe, and let's get right into this. So for today's video, I thought we just try and answer the age-old question of why do webtoons go on for so long. Let's try and answer it, and I made a couple of theories, so just hang on with me, sit tight, and let's go through all of them. So the first one that I have is that artists can't write. And I've said this before, but just because you have a skill to do one thing doesn't necessarily mean it to transfer on to the next thing. I feel like some artists are great artists. They are phenomenal. Their art is banging. It looks so nice, so good. You can't chat to them. You can't chat to them. But their writing leaves something to be desired, and I think that's something that is very underestimated and untalked about, is that this is a skill that you have to acquire, just like art. Just like how you'd have to build up your art skills, you'd probably have to build up your writing skills as well. So I feel like that's something that maybe some creators don't really take into account. But then again, it's very much a learning curve. You don't have to pick it up all on the spot. You probably would learn it as you go along and as you create your webtoon. But yeah, I just feel like it's very possible that some artists just may not know how to write as well, which is perfectly fine, but it definitely shows somehow, and in ways, just in the way, in characterizations, in the way the plot goes, in the way the plot feels meandering and ongoing and droning on. And it's probably because they did not map out the plot well. And so that's one of my theories. The second one that I have is trying to find the middle ground between pleasing both fans and self. And I think this is something that I would love to get art creators' opinions on, because I see it all the time. And I would really want to make a video again about, I don't think I've said this before, but I would love to make a video about the parasocial relationship that goes between webtoon creators and their readers / their fans, because it's very interesting. But I would just love to know how about it. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is that I feel like artists in trying to create a good story and trying to follow through with what they want to do and their plan and everything, I feel like they may subconsciously or consciously get influenced by fans. I think webtoon is the kind of platform where you have to see every single comment that pops on. I don't know how it happens for them. I don't know how it's moderated on their side. I can see hundreds of comments in one webtoon chapter, so I don't know how they see it, and I don't know how they interact with fans through those comment section, maybe through Twitter, Instagram, etc. But I feel like at a certain level you will probably be taking in a lot of reader input and fan input. So I feel like at a certain point there's a sense of, what do I do? Do I follow what I want, or do I follow what the readers want? So I feel like there's a little bit of push and pull, a little bit of tugging there, and I feel like that definitely influences how the story pans out and how long it goes on for. And yeah, the next one that I have is creators being tied up in webtoon legal problems. And this is something that I've heard. I heard that the webtoon creator for Let's Play, that was what was happening, and that's why the hiatus was so long between season 2 and season 3 of Let's Play. So I heard that did happen, and I heard that's what happened between the creator of The Devil Is a Handsome Man, which is a great webtoon, by the way, really good. Although to be fair, I did have my problems with it. It was one of the earliest reviews of a webtoon that I did. But can I tell you, art, no one is knocking that art. No one is touching that art. That art is so good. It's so good. Everybody looks so good. They did that. But what I did hear, at least in the comment sections of that webtoons, apparently they were trying to deliberate between them and webtoon, in the sense that maybe webtoon was saying something was so explicit, etc. But I don't know. I actually don't know. It's very, again, that is all very much alleged, and I actually don't know. And honest to God, webtoon comment sections are not the best place to get your information. It's very much a game of telephone. So that's what I heard, but I'm not sure. But I really do think that some of these creators, especially the ones who are made into original creators, who actually have I feel contracts between them and webtoon, I feel like there's some parts where they'd have to negotiate with webtoon, and that takes up some time, and that's why some of these webtoons take so long. The next point that I have is health problems. And I mean, aside from problems that, health problems that me and you can get, I mean, like, problems that are maybe like detrimental to your job, other than normal like illnesses and stuff. I'm talking like hand sprains and something like that where you actually needed to, like, draw and to write, etc., etc. And I think I heard that's what the creator of I Love You got, and they were hospitalized. For what I hear they're getting better, or they are better, because they are back. The webtoon is very much back. Other than those kinds of problems, I definitely think things like health problems, like hand sprains, like that, and also just like things going on in your personal life. And when I say health problems, I don't only mean physical problems. I mean also like mental health things. Maybe they went through something and they can't just go back right now, or they're just trying to like distance themselves and prioritize what needs to be prioritized, and that may not always be making and creating webtoons. So and I definitely am so for that. Prioritize your health, whether it is mental or physical, etc., etc. So my last point is money, and this is a very like cynical view, but I mean, it has to be said. I think, I don't know how much these creators are getting. I genuinely, I would love to see a contract between like a big creator and website. I would love to see how much money they're making. It's very nosy of me. I'm sorry. It's genuinely very nosy. Like, I shouldn't be this nosy, but like, I just want to know. Like, I feel like they're making bank. Because some of these creators, they've gotten to the stage where webtoon is their sole job, and they're getting multiple streams of income, not only from like, the amount of clicks and engagement they get and whatever webtoon pays them, but also like fast pass, things like that, fast pass as well, Patreon, merch, etc., etc. Like, I feel like once you're getting multiple streams of income directed from that only thing, which is your work and which is what you're creating, like, at some point, why wouldn't you keep it going? If I've got a bunch of dedicated readers who eat that shit up, who will still keep on going, who will still keep on coming back to me? And I remember I made one TikTok video a long time ago, like last year, and I was like, webtoons that I won't read because they're so long. And I remember seeing one comment that particularly stuck with me, and it was like, well, why would you want it to stop? Like, get what I'm saying? Like, they were like, why would you want it to stop? When it stops, it means like you can't like read it anymore. Like, why would you? Isn't it good that it's still ongoing? And I just, like, you get fans like that who genuinely don't want it to stop, which is fair enough. I completely get that, and I see that as well. But like, I definitely think creators would take advantage of that, and who wouldn't at some point, who wouldn't? Because like, if the money is good, like, don't fix what isn't broken. If I'm getting money from this webtoon and I don't need to be moving along, I don't need to stop it anytime soon because the money is too sweet. Like, what's my business? Like, I can see that. I can see, is it particularly narratively okay, but it's not like, probably not, but it's not the worst thing ever. Who's going to sue me? Who's going to sue me? The worst critique that I could get as a creator is that my website has gone on for too long. And one more, you're still reading my shit. So I feel like they're laughing all the way to the bank, and like, hey, there's definitely some webtoons that I've read and I'm like, you should have stopped here. There's a definitive point where you could have stopped right here. And one that comes into mind is Flawless. I remember reading it and being like, you could stop right here. I feel like this is this feels so like everything has come together. I feel like you could stop right here. Another webtoon is I can't remember what it's called, but it's like Class 8 something. I remember reading it up to a point and being like, this should be the ending. And then I just thinking about another webtoon, like, just imagine a webtoon like Lookism, where the plot twist and the different plot points and the different arcs are so much, and they keep on going. Like, I would love to know, like, who has that amount of ideas, because genuinely that creator of Lookism, They have it all. They have it all right stored up in here because the amount of ideas they have to keep it going. And that webtoon is long. It's like 300 or 400 chapters slash episodes. But like the amount of arcs that they go through and the amount of like genre whiplash I get. But yeah, that's besides the point. But yeah. So I did really quickly want to like touch on the alternatives. While there are lots of benefits to like having a webtoon being like short, one webtoon in particular that I always love and I always reference, it is my favorite webtoon in the entire world. It is Your Letter, and I absolutely love that webtoon, and I will actually make a dedicated, I've already done a review on it, but I will probably make an updated review on it because it's just that good. What I love about it is that it's only 10 chapters, and I think what's great about it is how simple it is. But there are some webtoons that could benefit from being longer, you know. I think a webtoon that comes into mind for me is Freaking Romance, just because that webtoon, again, I've done a review on this, that webtoon wanted everything and the kitchen sink. So either the creator could have, you know, cut back on a lot of things, edited a bit more, done a little bit more editing, or they could have, you know, increased the amount of episodes to accommodate all the things that they wanted to do, because it felt like a lot. It did feel like a lot. I did hear the creator wanted it to be a set, you know, a set amount, and it was 70 something, which is short-ish in the grand scheme of webtoons, because there are webtoons that go up to more than 100, 200, etc. But it probably could have benefited from a bit more, with a bit more time to like flesh out all the elements that they wanted to include. So yeah, I just want to include that as well. That is basically all my thoughts and all my theories about why webtoons go on for so long. There are some specific ones, but I didn't want to name too many names in here. But if you know them, let me know inside the comment section. If you like this video, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. I think my last video was my favorite webtoon woman, and then the one before that was my favorite webtoon men, and then the one before that was all my problems with Let's Play. So yeah, that's it for today's video, and yeah, bye. I actually don't know how this is going to sound because that is very typical of me. I went and lost not only the clip but the muff of this thing. So like, if this sounds weird, there you go. Like I'm waiting for it to pick up every single breath that I'm doing, as if I'm doing ASMR, as if that's what I came here to be doing. But we'll see how it goes. Let me actually just listen to it now. Which is fair enough. I'm sorry, I'm shifting a lot through this, and it is because this bar right here is so fucking annoying. Next point that I have is tied up in webtoon legal problems, and this is something that I've